Well, Dirk, I got an off script, which may be a little lengthy, but we can kind of get into it. All right. So, you can call it decorum, you can call it politeness, civility, you can call it whatever you want. But, obviously we've seen it fall away in the political realm, in sports, even in quality. Some of the comments we get are a little snippy, right?
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of reasons for it. I think that for me, a lot of it is this idea that people can kind of hide behind their keyboards and say things without ever having to deal with anybody in real life. They fire off their Instagrams and do whatever they want. But my question to you is, what do you think that's doing kind of to discourse in the world of business, for instance, especially in a world where so much, and here at Quality Digest we're doing it too, we're transitioning into more of a remote workspace, so much of a remote environment. What do you think that lack of context, that lack of understanding, maybe even basic civility, and maybe just misunderstanding of the way that texts and IMs and things come across to people. How do you manage that in a world that increasingly is getting more uncivil?
Well, I think you nailed it. And I'll refer to a little story I heard just a while ago, but. You're right, people hide behind their keyboard, and because of that, it's too easy to say things that you wouldn't normally say. I mean, and the people who say these things, and we get this stuff sometimes too, real snarky stuff, but that if you were talking to this person in person, they would never talk like that. I mean, people just in general don't, but when they're hidden, and so what is it doing to business discourse? I suspect it's having a toll in business discourse as well, although I will say that aside from comments on, let's say, the website or let's say emails to editorial that we get, that when we're dealing with business people, advertisers and whatnot, that we rarely, if ever, see anything like that. So I think business people are cognizant of the fact, because business writing has always been around. And so I think it's already ingrained within business people that when you write something, it has to be business-like. So, and I think that has carried over to a certain extent, or to a great extent actually, into emails and even texting, where business people are just already attuned to the fact that writing is just as important as speaking. So it may be having some effect. I'm not sure it's having as much of effect as we are seeing it in other areas.
Well, I almost would push back into you a little bit because of that, or because of the story you just covered, this idea that we are all so busy, we're all processing so many emails, and I'm guilty of writing some long emails to clients sometimes, and you get very short, almost snippy responses sometimes, but it's because terse, but it's not, and again, it's easily misinterpreted. It's not, oh my God, I hate you, or why are you writing this long email? It's like, I don't have time to get into it with you. This is great, fine, send me the whatever,
which can come acrough as being like snippy.
A lot of this is just the context of the way that the interactions happen through the electrons of a computer.
Which is why I think that even as business does get even more and more email oriented, or sometimes even text oriented, or sometimes even instant message oriented, that it's important to make physical contact either in person or over the phone with the people that you're dealing with. I mean, it doesn't have to be all the time. It's just a reinforcement that when you talk to them, you go, oh no, yeah, Mike is a nice guy, or Joe is a nice guy, or boy, sometimes those emails seem really snippy, but no, when I talk to him on the phone, no, he seems he's cool. It's just I mean, if you don't do that, then I think that impression can build up over time if people aren't careful that so and so is a jerk. Whereas if you just once a month even. It doesn't have to be all that often. Just once a month, make that personal contact.
Video conferencing.
Or video conferencing, really or even just the phone, just voice. Voices can sound friendly.
Yeah, they can.
And you make that connection, and you kind of you take that stress out of it. You go, no, okay, he does like me.
or you like
whatever.
Me, you really like me.
He likes me. And then I just think it's important to do that. I think relying strictly on text, I think, particularly as they get more and more terse, which is what's happening in today's technology is these missives get less missive and more
dismissive.
More dismissive. Very good. And I think it's just more and more important now that you make that physical contact.
Dismissive. D-I-S-S.
Dismissive.
Missive.
Yeah.
I just coined that.
You're brilliant.
The dismissive.
You should be a writer.
Yeah. All right. Real good. All
That's
right.
what I think.
Thanks, Rick. I agree with you. I think that sometimes we do these off scripts, and I know that we're going to agree, but it's like, well, I'm not going to come up with something just to say it. All right. Thanks, Rick. Good job.